So I've been getting a lot of questions about how I make myself turn into a potato, and I figured I would at least demonstrate how to do that. It's pretty simple. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Follow me on Twitch. I stream every Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday from 10 p.m. Pacific Standard Time till like midnight. So let's get to it. Okay, so the first thing you need to do is you need to get Snapcam. I just Google Snapcam, and the first one that pops up is the one that you want to get. It's snapcamera.snapchat.com. Click on the download button. I've already downloaded it, but you just agree to the privacy policy, download for PC or Mac. I will be doing PC because that's what I've got. And then once you download and install, this is what you get. Now you see my lovely face right there. So the first thing you need to do is find the lenses you want. Now I've got 3 lenses that I use. I turn myself into a pickle, banana, and a potato. Each of which are done the exact same way, but we need to set it up correctly first. So because we're doing the potato, they work the exact same way. We're just going to start with the potato. So you can search in lenses because I have it favorited, right? So you can just potato. You can search potato. There's a lot of them. This first one by Phil Walton, he actually has all of the ones that I want. He's got a Tiger King potato. Yeah, it looks like a Donald Trump potato. Anyway, potatoes. So once you have that, you want to favorite it. I guess you don't have to, but it makes it easy to find. There's a couple things that we need to set up that are really important to make sure that this works correctly. So the filter button right up there, these bunch of little buttons, little dots. Hit that button. Now you've got these are the ones that I have favorited, but here is the pickle, the banana, the potato. I gave them a hotkey. You can make a hotkey whatever you want. Just make sure you know what it is. So my potato is Control-Alt-9. Okay, so if I hit Control-Alt-9, it changes the potato, right? It turns it on and off. See, Control-Alt-9, potato, not potato. Here's another kicker: is you can't just turn it on a potato. There is one flaw because obviously there is a dirt background. I don't have a dirt background when I turn into a potato. So you don't want to have that dirt background. You want a green screen because we can get rid of a green screen. And you have to click to do that. So if you're in game or if you have that transition happen, you can't go click on it. So you have to be able to figure out how to do that. So in settings, so we have our hotkey for the potato. Now we need the hotkey to change that to the green screen. You're going to want to click on settings over here, the gear. That opens up and you have your camera choices. Now the way I have it set up is I have 2 separate cameras. I have my main camera, which is my Canon M50, and then I have my C922 Pro stream webcam, which is my Snapchat potato cam. And the reason I do it that way is because I have my nice camera, and if I put that through Snapchat, it reduces the resolution, and I want to have my full, nice resolution for my a super good camera. So that's where you would select you choose what camera that you're going to use. The camera resolution, I have it as best I can. I'd rather have the 60 FPS. Actually, you can select your camera resolution. The So I don't think this thing does anyway. So next is you select your camera resolution. Microphone doesn't matter because we're not using that microphone. It may for you, but for me it doesn't. And then These are just the typical settings, whether you want it to run on when you start up your system or whatever. And then here's the next part. So on and off lens is, like, that's not super important. I have it as Control D because you can also just do the hotkey of the potato again and it'll turn it off. But the one thing, the trigger lens effect, because that's what is turning your potato into a green screen, is that trigger, that lens effect. And so that is the one that you also have to remember. So I have mine at Control Alt P. Those are the, okay, so those are all the settings that we would need for our Snap camera, okay? We got our Control Alt P, we even Control Alt 9 for the potato. Again, you can set up your own however you want it. That's how I set up mine. So there's potato again. That's what Control Alt P does. So if I Control Alt P, it changes between the effects. So if I've got it off, right, I have it off, and I Control Alt 9, Control Alt P, I go quickly from no filter to my green screen potato. That's going to come in super handy when we get into the OBS part of it, okay? So let's get rid of that. So we're going to build it into this source right there. So you need a few things, okay? The first thing you need is, again, for me, 2 cameras. So let's go ahead and bring in my main camera. Okay, so we're going to bring in our video capture device, which is my face cam. So there's this one, right? This is my Canon. It's got the nice background. We're going to make this relatively small so we can continue to see the OBS, right? Maybe I need to make that a little bigger for everybody. Okay. So there's that. The second thing we need is we need to bring in the Snapchat. So bring in a video capture device. I already have it, but I'll show you how to do it. So we're going to create a new one. We'll call it Snapcam 2. Why not? So select your Snap camera because it's under, it should be, your device should say Snap camera, right? You can change, I just have default resolution. And so I want to have it basically the same size, but the position we can position later. Because I'll show you why, like, positioning of the potato matters. So there's the potato. And then so we don't want to filter. If you want to do more than just the potato, you don't want to use the Snapcam 2 or your Snapcam as your real camera that you're going to use for this. Because my potato is a green screen, the pickle is a blue screen, and then the banana is also a green screen. So I can't chroma key out the green because that gets rid of the pickle, right? So I take my Snapcam 2 and I mean, you can have it another source, but this is just kind of where it is. I can move it behind everything. Anyway, so you add a source mirror. And then you take, and I can call this, we'll call this, say, potato, because I already have a bunch of potatoes. So we're going to call this Potato Cam 2. Okay, and then we're going to select the source, right, which is our Snapcam. There we go, Snapcam 2, right there. So there's our Snapcam 2. So now it is a copy of the other one, and I can turn it off. I can turn off the Snapcam, that one. Anyway, so I've got this guy. So now we can right-click on the potato cam, go filter. There's two filters. You have the audio filters and you have the effects filters. You want to make sure that it is an effects filter if you haven't done chroma key before. So chroma key, it defaults at green. If it's another color, they have default colors. You can mess with it, but for the Snapcam, the green, just default green, ends up being perfect. And close. So now you've got your potato. Obviously, it's over my face. But I don't want it to cover the mic. So that's the other problem. I don't want it to cover the mic. So I just want it a little higher. You can put it wherever you want. So that's where I'll put it. So if I move around, I just have this potato in front of my face. This isn't the best yet, right? But we're getting there. Next thing that I like to do is, so let's, I will add a group, and let's call the potato. I already have a bunch of potatoes, so we're going to potato group 2 as well. So we have a potato group. Let's put the potato cam in the potato group, because then if we turn off the potato 2, it turns off everything in that group. So now the how I do this is I put a exact picture of my background. So I get out of the way and I take a picture of my background. So let's go to add image. We're going to call it potato background. Browse my pictures. There we go. And it's right there. So there's a picture of my background. And now I want that the exact size. The exact size. So the potato background would go right behind the potato cam. And now you can see, now I am a floating potato. So if I turn that on and off, you can see my D20 right there is not in the exact position. But when the effect happens, when that explosion happens, you can't really see that. So now you want to find a video clip or whatever explosion that you want to have happen to cover it. It's kind of like a transition where you kind of want to have the whole screen explode, so it covers it up and then it goes away, and then you switch it. So I'll go add media source. I'm going to call this explosion potato, just something so I know it's with the potato. We'll browse. I think it's over here somewhere. So here's my vanishing effect. So I do not want it to loop. Speed depends on, you can set this up depending on your own whatever file that you choose to use. And then I'm going to put it over the top. But it would go, I would just leave it over the top so that when it goes on, it explodes. The problem is it's a green screen. So let's go ahead and add the filter, the effects, chroma key, and then it's green. Now, depending on yours, this one's not like the best on the chroma key, so you'll just have to mess with it. So let me put it on loop, so you can see that one gives a couple, like, it still shows a little bit of green effect as it goes through, which you might like, might not like. That's where you come into the filters and you start playing with similarities. And then you can see where that already looks better. That already took out a lot of the green, right? I'm going to turn it off loop. There it is, right? You can see that doesn't like completely cover the potato. So what I'd want to do is I want to take that and I want to make it bigger. You just have to play with it until you get it exactly how you want it. Now that covers the potato perfectly. So now I can manually do this, right? I hit the explosion, and then as the explosion goes, I click I make the potato visible again. And I can do the same thing, right? I turn it on and turn the potato off in the middle of it, and now it's me again. That is the basics of how you, like, now we have everything like set and ready to go, but now we have to figure out the macro to make this thing work. I use a Stream Deck. You can use whatever you want to do, but I use a Stream Deck. There's other ways to make macros and stuff. I'm going to use the Stream Deck. I'm going to use one that I made with my other one, but we're going to walk through it. So the very first step, because macros are kind of weird, especially with Snapchat and OBS and everything, like sometimes they don't work. And so what I have found is that the first thing you do is you open up the program. So in this case, I open up Snapcam, So that opens up on my desktop. So if you're streaming and you have if you're showing your monitor, you don't want to have the Snapcam over the monitor. You want to put it on a different monitor or whatever. So that when it brings it to the front, because now it's activating it, it doesn't pop up in the middle of your gameplay. So the very first thing is I open Snapcam. So now that is in the forefront. And so when it hits the hotkey, it's going to use the Snapcam's hotkey. I had a little bit of a delay, which is a half a second, just to give the Snapcam time to open and be ready for the hotkey. Then it hits my Control 9, my Control Alt 9, which is my potato hotkey. And then my Control Alt P, which is my effects hotkey. And then I give it just a delay, right? So I can make sure that those hotkeys take place. I can make sure that the Snapcam has actually made the potato with the green background. And then I activate my source. So in this case, we'll change this to our new one, which is our snap camera scene, and then our explosion potato. So we're activating that thing. Then I delay it 1 second so that it's the full explosion that takes and completely covers up me. Then I can bring up the potato. I don't have to remove me because I put the potato group in front of me. So I delay it a second, and at that peak, then I activate the potato group, right? So snap camera potato group 2, so that activates the potato. I give a 3-second delay, which is kind of arbitrary because you have to get the explosion, the transition to turn back off, because you activate it by or you play it by activating it. So I take 3 seconds, then I turn the explosion off. So snap camera, the explosion, turn it off. And then here is this is the delay. Like right now for my test, I just have it 1 second, so it doesn't go crazy. But in general, I do 2 minutes. So I am a potato for 2 minutes. So this you could change to whatever you want, however long you want to be the potato. And then again, you go through and you will activate your explosion or your transition again. Give it that second, so it completely covers up the potato in 12 minutes, because I think the potato's a little bit higher. Anyway, you'll just have to play with these numbers, and then you deactivate at that time. Then you deactivate your potato group, and then again 3 seconds is just arbitrary. Just make sure that the transition just like closes completely. Then you go back into your snap camera, just turn that explosion off again so it's ready to go. And then you bring up your snap cam and then let it, obviously, the load, and then I turn the potato off. The reason is I get everything back to the starting position and ready to go. So most of this just happens in the background as it's going. So now that I should have all that together, let's give it a shot. Okay, I'm potato, and it should explode again, and I'm no longer potato. So it's that simple. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope this helps. I hope you can be the potato or the pickle or the banana or whatever you want to be. It's super simple. You can do it without 2 cameras. Again, I like to do it 2 cameras just so I don't have to reduce the resolution for my good camera. Anyway, please hit that subscribe button. Come check us out on Twitch, and we'll see you guys later.
You wanted a pickle? You got yourself a pickle.